Hey, this is Ryan from Web Eminence, and in this video I'm helping out website owners in writing content for their website. So I've built over 300 websites in the last several years, mostly for small business owners. And although I don't write content for my clients in most cases, I do advise them on writing their content, and then I interact with the content once I get it to build the website. So I just have a really good feel for writing content for small business websites and even websites for medium-sized businesses. So I encourage business owners when they're writing their website content to just answer some basic questions. And those are who, what, when, why, where, and how. Because I think a website and its content should just be answering questions for your visitors, potential customers, and clients. And if you answer all of those questions I just named, your website content is probably going to be complete and it's going to answer all the questions for your visitors. So what I want to do in this video is go through each of those questions briefly and then show you an actual website example, a website I created that I think is answering that specific question well. So the first question is who, and so you want to answer the question, who is this for? Who are you as the website owner or the organization or business owner, including pictures of yourself, your team, your office, just to give a good sense of who you are. These are all good things to do. Maybe this is going to be on an about page, for example. If you're including a bio of yourself or someone on your team, having credentials and experience would be a good thing to add here. And all these things answer the question of who. So a good example of a site that's answering this question well is a client of mine whose site I completed in recent months, Rejuvenated Med Spa. So they're a medical spa, and you can see on their about page they have a nice picture of their staff, they include their mission, and then they have a list of all of their staff, including medical doctor, and in this case experience is very important. So you can see nice professional pictures of their staff, what they do, and their qualifications. So that's a good example of a website that's answering the question of who very well. So the next question you want to answer is what. So this could be what do you do, what products or services do you offer? So a good example of a company that's answering this question well on their website is a site I built for a janitorial company in Southern California. So on their website, they have a services drop-down menu where they list all the services they offer, but also on their homepage, they include a list of services with small images so that people can easily find out what they do from their homepage, or they can find it from, again, the menu in the services drop-down. So the next question you want to answer with your website content is when. So this could be when are you open if you're like a retail location. It could be how long does it take? How long does your process take? Like people are always asking me, how long is it going to take to create and finish my website? So what's the lead time? So an example of a website that's doing this well is actually a basketball club whose website I built several months ago. And for a club like this, it's really important for them to answer the question of when, because parents and players want to know when tryouts are and when different things are happening. So they answer the question of when right on their homepage with a list of 2019 tryouts. We can click on team schedules, and there are answers to the question of when all over the place with practice schedule Monday, Wednesday, 5 to 6:30. And if you go through these lists, there are a bunch of times and schedules listed. So make sure you answer the question of when, however it applies to your business. So the next question you want to answer on your website is an important one, and it's probably the most overlooked, and that is why. So this could be what makes you unique, and why should someone choose you over someone else, over a competitor? What makes you special versus your competition? Why do you do what you do? So this might be a mission or a purpose, and that's kind of like your why, and you're communicating that to your prospects. So I did a website for a consultant in recent months, and they did a good job of answering this question of why. And this is Association Consulting Group. And if we go to their site, they actually have purpose statements under the About menu. So on the purpose statement page, they have some good answers to this. Working and living in homeowners associations can be challenging, and often success is hard to measure and elusive. So that's the kind of the problem they're solving for their clients. And then they say, our purpose is to provide advisory, educational, and expert testimony services. So that's kind of what they do and why they do it. And then they talk about nonprofit association consulting. And then if you go down, they even have more information about giving back. So this is giving even a deeper meaning into their business because they're giving money back. So a lot of people have this on their website just to give some deeper meaning and purpose, and it's going to encourage people to want to work with you. So that's a great example of answering the question of why with your website content. So the next question you want to answer, you would think would be a no-brainer and everybody would nail it, but this is the question of where, and a lot of people miss this, and sometimes I forget about it when I'm building a website and then we go back and add it later. So where is obviously where you're located. If you're a business that's serving a specific region, town, or city, you're going to want to list that probably right at the top of your homepage. And this is important for your visitors. It's also really important for SEO so that it's easy for search engines to kind of place you regionally. When people are searching for your service in your area, you're gonna have a better chance of ranking if you're listing your target area and answering the question of where right in your website content. So one of the clients I thought of that does this really well is actually a fertility clinic in Illinois and Indiana. They have 4 locations and they're in 2 states. So answering the question of where is really important for them. So if we look at their website, right at the top, it says a trusted provider of IVF and fertility services in Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana. And then if we scroll down their homepage, you're gonna see this section with a map of the overall region, and then we list the 4 different locations with phone numbers and contact information. So this is all on the homepage, but then we also have the locations listed on a separate location page, and it's also linked from the contact page. So make sure you answer this question of where to help search engines and human visitors find you and locate you. So the last question that you want to answer in your website content is how. So this could be what's your process if you're offering a service. Could be how do you make your product. If you're selling a product, people might want to know what the process is in making that product, because that might be what makes it unique. So a website that is doing well answering this question of how is actually an American Tiny House Association website that I redesigned earlier this year. And they have 3 basic steps they offer to people. So right on their homepage, we made that very clear. You can click Get Involved, and that'll take people right down to these 3 steps that are described very clearly. Their visitors can become a member, they can start a local chapter, and they can attend workshops or events. And again, on this website, we also give those steps up in the main navigation under Get Involved. Those 3 possible next steps are explained so that people know how they are able to get involved with this organization. So that answer to the question how is really for the visitor, like how do I get involved? But the answer to the question how could be, how does this process work? And how do I get started? So having like a next steps page would be a good thing to include on your website so that people know what they need to do. And it might just be a call to action, like just call us at this number or submit this form or request a quote. So a lot of times the answer to the question how is how do I get started? So make sure you answer that and give clear calls to action on your website. So if you answer all those questions on your website, who, what, when, where, why, and how, I'm confident that your website's going to be complete in its content and its message so that people who visit your website are going to get a good overview of what you offer, whether it's a product or service, and you're just going to get better results overall for your website. If you're looking for someone to build a website for you, I've obviously done this before and would love to help you out with your website. So I'll link to my complete website package in the description of this video. And if you work with me, my team and I will definitely help you out in making sure that all these questions are answered within your website content. So I hope this video helped you out. If you have any questions at all about anything I described here, make sure to comment. If you found it helpful, make sure to click the like button and check out some of my other videos, and we'll see you on the next one.